Hello YouTube and welcome back. It's been a while since I've done an update on how the build in my shop was coming along, and so today I thought I would share with you how I built my stairs that go upstairs into the loft. Y'all stick around. Okay, so with the boards for my stringers built, I'm laying out the cuts for the stairs on the stringer now. I made a jig with a framing square and a piece of straight wood, a couple of clamps, and we mark a 7 3/4 inch rise and a 10-inch tread. Now my treads are cut at 9.5 inches. So I left a 1/4 inch on each side just for the folding, to be able to fold it up. And so all I got to do now is mark out all my steps and then cut these out and then start putting my treads together. The treads will be made the same way as the boards for the stringers were. It'll be 3 layers of 3/4 inch plywood, but the middle layer on the treads will actually be skeletal, just to cut down on some weight. So let me get these marked out and get them cut, and we'll get right back with you. Okay, so you can see here I've got all of my treads cut out. Now, like I said, these are going to be the same 3 layers thick that the stringers are, and the middle layer will be skeletal. So you'll have a solid top and a bottom on each tread. And then I've got some of my scrap that I ripped down to 1 3/4 inches wide, or 1 3/4 wide. And this will actually go across here, down the sides, and a couple of places in the middle. And we're doing this just basically to lighten it up, and so that the treads aren't quite so heavy. And it'll be 3 layers glued and screwed down like so, and this will be each tread. Okay, so here's both stringers mostly cut out. This is the one that's going to be against the wall. This is the one that'll be out away from the wall. As you can see, they're pretty much mirror imaged. I still have to cut out the ends because this one will need another step cut out. This will actually rest up on top of the landing, and then down on this end, you see where this will be on the floor against the wall, and then we'll have to bring it out and to the floor down here and cut it off. Now, like I said, this top one here will be the one that folds up against the wall. This one will be attached to the wall. You see here I've got the face of the tread cut out, and the middle layer, I'm making it skeletal. That'll cut down on weight a little bit, and it keeps me from having to use a whole bunch of plywood. By making it skeletal, I was able to cut up my scrap for the center layer. The 2 full layers of 3/4 inch plus the skeleton in the middle should make it plenty sturdy. So I put a little bit of glue on. Then I'll drop it in place. I've got screw holes pre-drilled through this. And so once everything gets assembled in the final assembly process, and all of the skeletal pieces will be lined up on the screw holes, and the screws will catch them. So I've got glue in, I've got it fitted. I'll put a couple of brad nails in. And that'll hold that in place until the glue dries and the next layer of the next full layer of the stair tread goes on. Okay, so I've got all the skeletizing done, and just putting on the last layer. The screws that I'm using, the 3 layers of 3/4 inch plywood is 2 1/4 inches, and I'm using 2-inch screws. So it goes through all 3 layers and holds them all together good. That one's done. Okay, there's the first stringer installed, and it's got 4-inch screws in every stud along the wall there, all the way from the bottom up to the top. And now we'll start, as soon as the paint finishes drying on all of the steps, I'll go ahead and install the hinges, then we'll set the steps up in place, and we'll start screwing those in. And then we'll finish up with the other stringer on the outside, and we'll bring it in. So here we're installing the steps on the first stringer, and I used the Spax screws. They have a heavier thread and a coarser thread, and they are absolute beasts as far as drilling in and gripping. I can tell you, if you ever use them, the head on them looks like a Torx head. It is not a Torx head. Before I got anywhere close to done with what I'm doing here, 8 Torx bits I broke. I switched over to the proprietary bit, the T-drive bit that comes with the Spax screws. I didn't use it before because it's a real small bit and requires a carrier, but I haven't broken one since. And so far, all these steps that I've got installed on here are going fine. So once these steps are all installed, I'll bring the other stringer up and I'll set it in place, and then we'll fold the steps down and we'll start attaching them to the other stringer. Right now, all of them, once they're screwed in, they stay up naturally. They're not showing any indication of being unsteady or trying to fall on their own. I'm using a self-centering drill bit for the hinges to make sure the holes are in the middle. Another thing that I credit with not breaking any more bits is I stopped using my impact driver and started using the drill to drive the screws with. A little bit harder on the drill, but like I said, I haven't broken a bit since. Okay, that's all the steps installed on the first stringer, and I wanted to take just a minute and explain why I'm building a folding stairway instead of just a regular stairs. The door right here goes into a climate controlled room. That's the other half of the building, And in this room, there are 2 drive-through bays. This roll-up door right here is actually a drive-through bay. It goes all the way through. So if I built a regular stairway, I would be infringing over into that drive-through bay by about 2.5 feet. So what I did was I built the landing up here, coming off of the upstairs, and then I built a folding stairway. It folds down when you need to go up or down, and folds up and out of the way, and I still keep my drive-through bay. So that's why I'm building a folding stairway. I just thought I would add that in and explain why I'm doing what I'm doing here. Okay, so you can see here I've got the steps installed now. I've got the outer stringer installed. I've got one step here that's out of alignment. Actually, all of them are probably at least a little bit out of alignment. But I've got one that's real bad out, and I'll get it adjusted and reset, and then I'll show you how this all works. Okay, so there's the stair adjusted and reinstalled, and I'll show you the stairway is pretty solid. There's maybe a little bit of flex in there, but certainly not much. No more than what you would expect from any clear spanning stringer that way. And we'll go all the way up to the top and back down. You can see the stairs are plenty wide if I need to carry stuff up into storage up there. They're plenty wide enough for that. And I told you that I was building this because I have a drive-through bay here. And so if I wanted to use the bay, or if I'm not using the upstairs at the time, I come over here, push up on that, and it folds against the wall. It's sturdy up there. Gravity is holding it right now. I do have some gas shocks ordered to help lift that weight up, and they should be here in a couple of days, and I'll get those installed, and this will be finished. But this is my folding stairway, and it wasn't terribly difficult to build. A lot of hinges in it, a lot of screws, so all the creaking and groaning that you heard when I lifted it up, some of these hinges are not in perfect alignment with the others, and you're just going to have that kind of noise until they wear a little bit and get settled in. But that's it, and hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.